Hey everyone, this is Sky here. I hope you're doing great, and welcome to a new series that I have decided to start doing. It was quite an impromptu decision to do this. I've thought about it before, but I've always kind of had the opinion that, like astrology and money, at least on my channel, weren't really something that were going to be harmonious, and I didn't really want to speak about money specifically or about finances specifically. But as I've seen in 2019 with the retrograde season that we're going to have of Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter, all money planets being retrograde at the same time, I thought, why not? Why not make a video about, finances and money? I've never made one specifically like this before, and I've decided, why not even make a series out of it? Let's do a quarterly series about astrology and financiering. Why not? Why not? Because, Jupiter's in Sag. I have natal Jupiter in Sag, and it's why not just do the things that you feel might be helpful to people, because that's what I want to do first and foremost, is be helpful. And currently in our paradigm that we've found ourselves in, money is a very similar construct to energy. Energy and money have actually become very vibrationally similar. So to do a video about money and about finances is nearly congruent to doing a video on energy. So anytime in this video when I use the word money or use the word energy, they can be interchanged with each other. So I might talk about debt, or I might talk about saving more or spending more here and there. And you can interpret that as energetic debt, financial debt, spending money, spending energy. It is truly on nearly the exact same wavelength right now in this current paradigm. So keep that in mind as we go throughout the video. Again, this is a new series for me, and I'm really looking forward to what messages do come up. I do have some notes here. I will be channeling intuitively, speaking from an astrological perspective on the transits we're going through, and then also just referring to my notes of things that I've thought about that will be poignant in this period of time for you, the viewer. Be sure to check the description box below before we get into it. I've laid out a few helpful links. I have some referrals, and then I also have this really cool cashback app called Dosh, who have not sponsored this video, but I think that it's super helpful. I love using it. It's a great way to get cash back in places that you're shopping at, and I have a referral link actually, so you get an extra bonus $5, a free $5 just for signing up for doing it. So I'm really happy to be able to bring that to you guys today. Free $5 just for signing up. We got to kind of take what we can get during this time, because money can actually be pretty tight in this current quarter that we're moving into. Again, this is a quarterly series. So in quarter 2 of 2019, there can be a lack of budget, there can be a pay cut to come in. This can also happen in quarter 3 as we prepare to move into a super lucrative, potentially quarter 4 of 2019. But this is the time to start pulling back just a little bit financially, energetically. This is not, I repeat, not a time to gamble, not a time to make risky investments, not a time to not know where your money's going, and not a time to not be looking at the statements or the accounts. Okay, we have to be quite diligent with matters of finance and energy. We have to be looking at every transaction. We have to be looking at the morality behind every transaction as well. Is where I'm sending my money, what I'm putting my money into, is this something that I support? Because we have Jupiter in Sagittarius, which is, Jupiter is a money planet, not quite as much as Saturn and Pluto are, but nonetheless it certainly is a money planet, and it's just gone retrograde during the time that I'm filming this reading, and I'm already seeing with clients, with myself, that we're starting to question what we're spending on. We might see, okay, here's this service, here's this streaming service that I use. It's not that it costs too much money, but am I really behind what they support, politically, morally, all of these things? We're starting to think about the things that we're building by investing in, and do we really agree with what they represent? I feel that throughout quarter 2 and quarter 3 even of 2019, people will really start to think about what their money builds. It's not so much the expense of it, but it's okay, this company has this political affiliation, or okay, this company believes in this, and if I contribute to it, that's only going to get stronger, and I don't agree with that. So I see a lot of people pulling out investments or pulling out money of things they don't morally agree with. I see this to actually be a huge fad and trend that starts throughout this entire year. is really starting to not just think about the expense of something, but the company behind it. So what's beneath the surface, what's behind it, and what morals, aspirations, opportunities, employment structures, hierarchies, power control, control dynamics. What does this company represent? And I sense a lot of companies really suddenly taking a hit because they've either been too open or not open enough about what they represent. So as a business owner in this time, it's going to be very important to not pigeonhole yourself into certain affiliations, because that will dramatically inhibit your business to be too connected to one either political or societal collective thought opinion. Because as you know, like to have one opinion or to make yourself really drastically connected to one opinion will automatically go against others. So I'm not saying to be quiet or to hush your political affiliations or whatever, not at all. But just logistically, from the financial point of view, you will see a drop in finances in your business if you're being too loud about what you represent and what other people should represent. Corporate entities that become controlling during this time will tank. The secret to having corporate success will be in what's the word? It's I want to say more moral flexibility is going to be important for any type of business right now. Again, that is not a personal statement on someone personally needing to be quiet about their affiliations. It's just a statement of the facts that financially you will not see the best result for doing that. But perhaps that could be really good for you morally, or perhaps you could see that it's an interesting, energetic thing to pursue that within your company. It's just the finances might drop a little bit. Okay. And continuing on with the subjects, I feel that quarter two of 2019 is one of the best times to really establish a firm budget. We've been talking about this a little bit, like even in general readings, since the time that Saturn went into Capricorn, because Saturn in Capricorn is like the penultimate budgeter. It is like such a organized, aware, even potentially frugal energy. And that's a 2-year transit that started in December of 2017, I believe it was. So we are halfway through. I have a video about Saturn halfway through Capricorn. If you'd like to check that out, I'll put it below. But it is truly such an ultimate well-oiled machine for like establishing a financial or energetic budget. You can really like get out a pen and paper and like use a payment calendar or something to really open your eyes about what your money is going toward. Definitely not a time to just sort of be blind to your accounts. Again, Saturn is going retrograde, so I sense that some of us may be doing that. In April, it's going retrograde. I think that some of us might not even be checking our statements or even looking at where money is going, because we kind of know that there's enough there and we're maybe busy with other things. And that can end up in like negative balances. I do sense people overdrawing, paying interest on credit cards, not keeping their money, if they have money, in like places where it really is a good place to be. There's a sense with Saturn and Pluto both being retrograde that things go into the negative, or things don't accrue what they should. So there could even be a drop in interest rates, I see, or a raising too. It could go either way, depending on, like mortgages versus savings and like how those markets are going. But you could see that like the interest rate on your mortgage increases. Likewise, you could see that the interest rate in your savings account like decreases, or your CD or whatever it is. Even like dividends and investments could decrease potentially a bit. Stock market will probably go down over quarter two. Which does lead me into another topic as well. Diversity is going to be so important for the next year. I mean, everybody says that, everybody knows that, but do not be heavily invested in one enterprise during this period of time. That will be seen as a failure. Jupiter in Sagittarius is one of the most diverse energies in all sectors of life. It really promotes diversity. It really promotes eccentricity, many rods and many fires. So if you're investing, I don't know, $1,000, $1 million into the market, that should be spread across 10 different sectors minimum, like 12, 15, 20 different sectors, because you would see that some people who are perhaps like genius and know the market so well could like have a huge come to richness and like a huge like tenfold accumulation of their capital by investing in the right thing, because some things will boom as well. Some things in the market will like dramatically increase, but also some things will dramatically decrease, especially in quarter 2 and 3. I feel the dramatic increases to come from around the time of like August to November 2019, and then drop again in December as Jupiter moves into Capricorn, for sure. Um, and I feel that long-term investments and short-term investments, not just diversity in the enterprise, but diversity in the length of investment, diversity in the currency invested, diversity in the regions of investment. So not just being on one continent or one country. It's a new type of diversity that will emerge, and perhaps even new fads or trends relating to how you're diversely invested. Real estate, really, really good right now. Property, true assets, Uranus moving into Taurus and finally being there solidly placed to invest in real things will go better most likely than markets, or it should be an enterprise that deals with real things, that deals with like land or things like this. Again, this is kind of jargony and maybe not what some of you are looking for. And I won't spend too much time on like what you should do with what. I'm just saying like really beware of things that are just digital or things that reflect an unreal market or reflect something that's not real, because those things will tank really easily. I'm talking like cryptocurrency, banking, things like this. When it's not real, it's not very sturdy in this paradigm. So do keep that in mind. Again, for those of you who are maybe sitting on a bit more money, this is a great time for high yield savings. Interest rates are going up in savings accounts, so I will link some below. I'll look for y'all and see what I can find. But yeah, you can really get good interest payments right now compared to what they used to be. So now's a great time for putting money into something that accrues, but it does not have any chance of defaulting or any chance of taking on a negative balance. So yes, I definitely think of, the more conservative savings, CDs, things such as this will be smart right now, because I keep hearing the words, I didn't make much, but I didn't lose. That's what I keep hearing throughout this entire channeling. So I feel that people who were a bit conservative or put their money into like very solid things, maybe they didn't make as much, but it will be very likely that people who risked lost, like on their initial balance. So it's like, even if you only make, I don't know, $100 in interest, whereas you could have made like $5,000 in the risk of a stock rocketing, it's like better to have made that $100 than to have lost 10,000 on that risk. You know what I mean? I keep hearing that I didn't make a lot, but I also didn't lose. And that's where we want to maybe be with that. And then maybe some of us can even potentially make a lot in interest. It's possible. I sense a lot of people really managing that in an interesting way. And I also feel that interest becomes a new thing too. So yes, I do sense higher interest rates for debt. I sense higher interest rates on like mortgage and on credit cards as well, and like perhaps even like new forms of debt accrual. So like new systems of debt that come with a very complex interest system that ends up really hurting people. I could see that coming out over this next year and maybe really starting here. And on that note, I really have to talk about identity theft. That is something that will explode, I feel, in 2019. Now is a time to be investing in identity protection, I feel, and now is a time to not be trigger happy with like your social security number, with like your driver's license number, passport numbers, bank account numbers. We have to be careful and watch out for putting these things online too much. Make sure your browsers are protected. Make sure your computers are protected, because I felt with the Mercury retrograde in Pisces, as well as the Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto retrograde happening simultaneously, that this was the perfect environment to spur identity theft and hacking. Also like hacking into bank accounts and things such as this. I feel that there will be scandals further in the year about digital currency being hacked, people's accounts being like wired, like transactions happening in their accounts. And I feel also that the people won't be liable, like the banks will be liable, or like the institutions will be liable, and you'll probably get it back. But it feels that it could also spur a really negative economical situation. So I feel that us as individuals, we have to be proactive about that. And even though like we're not responsible for the economy itself, like it might be nice to support the economy and like really get ourselves prepared to not have our identity stolen or not have our security stolen, just not even for our own self-protection, but for the protection of our society. And as a side note, it is kind of nice this year to like, of course, care about yourself, but care about how you can help yourself individually and also society at the same time. Being protected, not being careless with your information, not being not being in situations that could see like a hack or something. And again, it's not going to be controllable for everybody, and don't let it freak you out. I just feel that, all the identity theft things, I keep hearing that, and I keep feeling like there will be a proliferation of that. I feel it to be like a virus. Like I see like the flu. I see like it really spreading contagiously, actually, as Jupiter retrograde does create an environment for the spreading of contagions, as well as Pluto retrograde too. And when I put the money idea on that, that's what it comes to me as, is the contagion of identity theft. Pluto retrograde can also lean itself towards feeling like you're taken, like your identity, not even just financially or societally, but like even like your emotional identity can feel stripped during that time. So everyone's really open to some kind of theft of identity, whether this be, again, energy or money. So keep that in mind and make the proper precautions here and now. Something really incredible about Q2 of 2019 is the ability to get out of debt, or to really build debt down. I hope that over 2018 you've been working on that as well, because Saturn in Capricorn, and also when Jupiter was in Scorpio, it also lent itself towards accruing debt, but also battling debt and really getting past debt. I sense a lot of people making the last payment on something in Q2. So the last payment on a loan, or the last payment on a mortgage, the last payment on a credit card. And that's not fun, because it feels that these last payments are big. It's like, rather than continuing to do small monthly payments, we like really attack a balance, or we really just like, okay, I made money and I'm going to spend that all on getting out of debt. That feels really good right now. That feels really, really nice to know that a lot of people maybe move into the next month no longer having to even make a certain payment or something. And it feels very energetically healing, because when you strip yourself of debt, or when you make a final payment on a debt, you are simultaneously making a final payment on some type of karmic or emotional debt as well. Emotional debt and owing and credit will all proliferate with the Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. Financial as well. Again, we can use these simultaneously in this video, but there will be a proliferation of people being emotionally indebted, feeling like they owe somebody an emotional experience, feeling like somebody owes them an emotional experience. So it's good to really tackle that, get that closure, and get it over with if you can during this quarter. It's very rewarding here, it feels like. And I'll also link below this like really cool financial planner that I found that I enjoy using similarly. It's really, really cool, and you can really get, again, behind your budgeting. I think that's a great thing. I'm just giving y'all some resources below to utilize if it's helpful to you. Again, the Saturn in Capricorn, like really tracking your debt, really tracking your balance, really wrapping your head around how you're indebted, what you've indebted yourself to, was it worth it? Mapping out those payments, things like this are really karmically healing, actually. I would even be interesting to challenge some of you to using like a money calendar, or this like budgeting system that I'm linking below, to maybe even like go about your emotional debts as well. Like how are my relationships? How am I giving to them? How are they giving back to me? Maybe tracking how people are contributing to you, or how you're contributing to them. This might sound a little bit crazy, but it's actually interesting to see, not just so you can keep track of it and have like a log to like use for or against people, but so you might actually see how much or how little you're giving versus like what your mind thought. Like I feel like we can kind of trick ourselves up a little bit during this quarter and the next one too, with how much we give. We might give a little bit and think, oh my gosh, I've given the world to this person, or vice versa. So it might be good to keep track of that. Or likewise, this is completely comparable, as I said, to your bank account as well. You might think, oh, I'm not spending that much. Oh, I'm spending so much, when it could be completely the other way around. So really tracking it and keeping accounts of it is so positive and so healing, so you can see like truly what's going on. And the last thing that I want to bring up in this video is emotional spending or power spending. So the Pluto will go retrograde, the Saturn will go retrograde. And this can lend us toward not thinking clearly, or making a lot of decisions about money or energy based on an emotional response, or based on the need for power or control. We might see that, okay, my partner who lives in another country, like we just had a fight, I'm going to book a plane ticket and go there right now, even though I've not gotten consent, or even though we've not made any plans. I'm just going to show up on their doorstep, and it ends up like costing a lot of money and a lot of energy, and they're like not home or something. There are a lot of things like that, like really direct consequences for like making huge expensive decisions on a whim, or being too impulsive. Again, Jupiter retrograde also plays into that. The three of them really work in tandem with impulsive emotional responses, and being retrograde truly give consequences or difficulty in relation to impulsive, expensive choices. Okay, so plan things well. A great time to have a planner, a great time to have a budget, a great time to be diversified, to keep your money close to yourself, to not spend too much, while also getting debt taken care of, putting money into high interest yielding things that have pretty much no chance of defaulting or no chance of carrying a negative balance, or like industries or enterprises that could, jump up but fall down. It's important to avoid volatility just a little bit if you could. And of course, this is temporary. There are certain environments that are more beneficial or lucrative towards volatility or can support it. Like Q4 of this year may actually be that. But Q2 and 3 are not. Again, Q1 was also actually a chance of 2019 to be a little bit spendthrift or a little bit like risky to like maybe take a quick gamble. But by April 11th, when that Jupiter goes retrograde, we need to be out. We need to be out of those gambles. So anyway, everyone, I so hope you've enjoyed this. Again, it was my first time ever making this type of video. I've never talked about like money and astrology, but again, I want to remind you that every time money has been spoken about in this video, you could insert the word energy or insert the word personal power to replace that, because they are completely congruent energetically right now for the most part. So keep that in mind. You could completely read this video as energetic astrology, not just financial astrology. So again, be sure to check out the description box below. You can like get $5 just by signing up for Dosh. Like you guys just made $5 by watching this video. Like you made money sitting here. You can go and sign up over there and just get it for signing up. Like I think it's such a great opportunity. I'm not just doing that for my own benefit. Like I really wanted you guys to like get something out of this too. And I was so great to get that opportunity. I'm so happy that I could like let y'all make money by watching my video. So be sure to check that out. That'll be the first link in the description box. I may also comment it. And then I also have the other links that I mentioned. There are some other links to like videos on my channel, my Patreon page if you want more information, as well as the cool budget calendar that's there as well. We'll be talking soon. Good luck. Manage your money well. Be safe. Be content. Have fun. Do things you enjoy. Great to maybe spend a bit of money on the self. Investing on the self is so great for this energy, like so wonderful. It's never bad to spend money on yourself or on things that are like undeniably for your health. That's something that I also meant to mention in this video as well. Oh my gosh, here I go, like ending the video and then talking about things again. That's something else I meant to mention was investments in health, money spent on health. Saturn is retrograde in Capricorn. It will be imperative to spend on the health of your body, the health of your environment. Even renovations or making your environment or your home more healthy, more enjoyable to be in, more healing. It's going to really, also Pluto being retrograde, it deals with disease and energetic sickness and being self-effacing, hurting the self. So there is perhaps some healing to be done there with money even. So do think about that. Save more. Don't spend as much. Keep a rainy day fund going if you can, just in case you needed to spend on yourself. Okay, everyone, good luck, and I will be talking to you soon. I hope this video helped. Again, claim your $5 on Dosh below. So fun, so great, and you get cash back just automatically. It doesn't even cost anything. So enjoy that. It's a fun little opportunity here. So we'll be talking soon, everyone. Much love. I post new videos every Friday. I'm energetic. I'm happy, ready to save money myself. We'll talk soon. Bye.